What's going on, guys? Crypto Hoy here, and in this video I'm going to cover two things. The first one is that we actually finally have not just the date but also the time of when this is going to be launching, and it's not tomorrow. That has been extended for the 16th with Poloniex, and I'm going to get all into that information here in just a bit. And the second thing I'm going to cover is try to answer this question right here about liquidity, if they're going to have enough liquidity for launch and how this is going to work. So I'm going to explain here how this works, on liquidity, the liquidity provider, and what are the certain options, and also look into the white paper. What does it say about this, the percentage that they're sending out to the exchanges. And so I'll get to that here in just a bit. But first, let's go into one of the important news, which is the launch date, because people have been waiting for this for a very long time, like 9 months. Okay, so let's go here to their Twitter, and they finally have it here mentioned. It's already announced on their Twitter, on social media, which is great. And it says, "We are thrilled to announce our grand launch on Poloniex happening on June 16th. That's right, it's not on the 15th anymore. It has been extended at 4 p.m. UTC +1. Now this time is very important, and I'm going to show you guys what that means. I'm going to convert it to the US time zone. So if you're you're residing in the US, you can be prepared for this launch and kind of plan your day out. So let's do that right now. But first, let's look at here on Poloniex on their website. They also make this announcement. The deposit is at 14 hours UTC, and the trading, this is the important one, is June 16th, the same day, at 15 hours UTC. Now notice the difference. This one says UTC, while on their big guys, it says UTC +1. So they added an extra hour, all right, because they're not using daylight savings. And so what I went ahead of done is kind of put everything here together. Okay, you guys can pause this if you guys want, or like screenshot it or whatever, and you guys can kind of see what is expected to happen on June 16th. So on June 16th, all right, at 16 hours, which is the equivalent, okay, of 4 p.m. Like we see here, 16 hours is the equivalent of 4 p.m. because some countries still use like the military hours, but most of the Western parts of the country or world, they use the AM and PM, all right? But anyways, so at this time, that is 4 p.m. So it matches, okay? So this matches perfectly 4 p.m., all right, which is what is said here on Twitter. All right, 4 p.m. UTC +1, perfect. Now, if you're in the like in Houston, like where I'm at, that's Central Time, like Chicago, then that means it's 10 a.m. All right, so that means the trading is going to start at 10 a.m. And then New York City, if you're in New York or the state of New York or in the East Coast in general, then that's going to be 11 a.m. That's when trading is going to start in Poloniex. If you're in Pacific or Los Angeles or in California or any of the West Coast, then you're looking at 8 a.m. That's when trading starts in Poloniex. And again, I also added here the UTC, which is 15 hours, okay? Which is again the same thing as 4 p.m. And I put this on here because everything is all connected, okay? So if you notice UTC +1, it says 16 hours, and then UTC is 15 hours, but it's the same thing, okay? They just added a +1, which is why it says 16, and this one has no +1 and it is 15. All right, sorry if I'm like repeating myself, but I just really want you guys to understand how this time zone and works, because that in itself can be confusing. All right, so that's good to know. But again, the only official announcement that I was able to find was from Poloniex. I didn't find anything from OKX or Uniswap at this moment. And if you guys have any information about that, feel free to share it in the comment section down below, and I'll be sure to make an update about that. But as of right now, I didn't find any other announcement other than just Poloniex. Now, the next thing is this right here, okay? It says 24 hours left for early access and double up on the 819 casino. So here's a little tricky thing, okay? I don't know if they've probably seen my previous video that I mentioned that this may conflict with the launch time, because if the early people that paid $100 to get early access, and between this time and the time that the rest of the community is able to access their tokens, all right, without paying that $100, and if the token it is launched, okay, on Poloniex, in between those two times, that may cause a serious problem. It's not going to be a fair launch. It's going to be a unfair launch for just the early buyers, okay, the early holders. It just wouldn't be fair, pretty much. So in this case, I guess what they have decided to do is just to change the date. So the claim date is on the 15th. It hasn't changed, all right, the claim date, but the launch date, like I covered recently right here previously, is going to be on the 16th. So pretty much there's like a day difference, which is fine, right? I guess they're trying to give enough space for that everybody can claim your tokens on time, and then on the next day, all right, so pretty much on June 15th, you claim your tokens, whether you're paid $100 or not. You get to claim your tokens on the 15th, and on the 16th, the following day, all right, you're going to be able to trade those tokens. But here's the thing though, if you're a long-term holder, then you don't really need to worry about this. This doesn't apply to you, because whether or not you spend $100 ticket for early access or not, it doesn't really matter to you, because you're on this project for long term. You don't plan on selling it at launch, so that's fine. And perhaps you are planning on using those $100 for the casino. You're going to be accredited those $100 for the 819 casino, which is big casino, like it is mentioned right here. So let me just go here real quick. So at the bottom right here, it says early access ticket. One ticket costs 100 USD, and the same amount will be credited to your big casino or 819 casino account when it launches in August 29th. But if you're a holder that you were only into this project just for the pre-sale and nothing more, you're not here for the project, you're not here for the games, the casino, for the big casino or 819 casino, you're not in it for the project, you're in it just for the pre-sale, just for that, pump and dump, then essentially, if you have paid those $100, you're just giving them like $100 free money, okay? Because the early access now is just worthless. Why? Because it's not going to be launching the token on the 15th. It's going to be launching on the 16th. So pretty much, whether you get access to it like 6 hours earlier before the rest of the community, but you're all going to be able to trade at the same time, then you pretty much just give them $100 for nothing. Because again, you're not planning on using this money for their casino, because you're not in it for their games or their project. You're only in it for the pre-sale, and that's it. Because after this pre-sale is over, you're gonna go and seek the next new thing, the next big thing, the next pre-sale, the next token, the next, whatever's out there. Because between now and August 29th, there's going to be so many new pre-sales, new projects, perhaps even similar ones than this one, or perhaps even bigger ones than this one. A lot of people, similar happened with Tomadodge, okay? A lot of people were very excited for Tomadodge, but if you look at it now, and also previous, like IMPT token, Love Hate Inu, like so many other ones, right? They were all in it because of the pre-sale, but once that's over, nobody really cares. Even with IMPT token, there was nobody trying to claim their prize, okay? I guess it was like 100K, I don't remember exactly, but they were giving away $100,000 worth of IMPT token, and they have to like do a giveaway. They have to do it again because all the people they contacted, nobody responded. And I covered that in a previous video as well. But that just goes to show you that most people are not in it because of the giveaways or because of the project or whatever. They're in it just because of that, pump and dump in the beginning of the pre-sale, and that's it. Then after that, they move on. In my opinion, I think this early access ticket, $100, shouldn't even exist in the first place. Like, what are you doing that? It almost seems like a pre-sale within another pre-sale. It's like, it has been going on for so long, it kind of defeats the purpose of having a pre-sale when now you're adding like more hoops for holders to jump through just so they can have early access to it. Because the whole purpose of a pre-sale is that everybody who participated in the pre-sale, all the holders, you're going to be able to get it at a cheaper price. But anyways, those are just my thoughts about what I think about this. Share what is your thoughts in the comment section down below. But now let's go to the next big question, okay? Which is there going to be enough liquidity for this token? So somebody on Telegram asked this question right here, and they said, this is what I am struggling to understand. If anyone can make sense of it, launch price is at 0.000 0.006. With all the overall supply of 200 billion tokens, at 80% being 160 billion tokens at launch, would mean the big market cap to launch at the price would need to be $96 million market cap. I don't know how they can launch at 0.006 when they haven't gotten the market cap anywhere near that. So that's a very good question. So pretty much here is what the information we have based on their Qtonomics, okay, or their tokenomics pretty much. So we know that the total supply is 200 billion tokens. There's no tax on buy and sell, which is great. And 70% of them are going to be sold via the public pre-sale, which has already ended. And then it says here, 20% of that is going to go to the exchanges. Now, the question is, if this is going to the exchanges, does that mean that also 20% is of the liquidity is going to be going to the exchanges? Well, most likely it is. Because whenever they add the tokens to an exchange, they also need to add liquidity at the same time. Otherwise, the token is just going to be just a number, but with no value. It's just going to be worthless. So it needs to be paired up with liquidity, with LP, so that way an exchange can actually occur. All right. Otherwise, you won't be able to exchange it. And most of the times, the exchanges it's just not even going to work because there's no liquidity there in the first place. So I'm just going to go with this number right here, okay? Because they haven't really explained in depth, Big Ice team, how this is going to work. But let's just say that since 20%, okay, and one thing to keep in mind, if you add 70% plus 20%, which is 90 already, 90%, then you add 5 and 5%, this right here is a total of 100%, which all of this represents to the whole 200 billion tokens, okay? So 70%, 20, and 5. Okay, that equals 100% of the 200 billion tokens. Okay, all right, great. Now let's say that 20% of that goes to the exchanges. So this is what more or less this is going to look like. Okay, so I kind of made this. Hopefully it's understandable. But what this other text person, like they mentioned here on Telegram, all right, about the 160 billion tokens and the 96 million market cap. Well, they're talking about this right here, okay? So 80% of 200 billion tokens, which is the total supply, 80% of that is 160 billion at this price of 0.0006 is the market cap of 96 million. That's a lot of money, okay? I don't know if they raised this much money because, again, we cannot check on the Etherscan. Like, they won't tell us here. This is the only information we have so far as of the making of this video. There's only one holder and 2 transfers, and one person is holding the whole thing, okay? Holding 200 billion tokens. So we're not seeing any liquidity lock. We haven't seen any tokens being transferred to like Uniswap or being sent anywhere for an exchange. So, you know, we and then we also don't know the market cap. Like, we have no information about that right now. This is all the information that we have at this moment. At this time, we can only trust what they're telling us, okay? We can only trust what they're telling us on Twitter. Previously, they have mentioned that they have raised $46.5 million raised, but then they changed that. They even made a Medium about this, and I'll have the link down below, that they have only raised $27 million. So they reduced the amount because they are excluding the bonuses. And I explained my theory, and again, it's not confirmed by them, okay? But my theory is that excluding the bonuses is the equivalent as deducting the bonuses. So that will bring it down to like almost half of what the money that came in. Because remember, they were giving giveaways, bonuses like crazy, like 300%. They were giving like towards the end, like very at the very end already of their stages, like at stage 15, they were giving like 500%. Okay, they were selling this token at stage 15 as if it were stage 1, like 9 months ago. The price that it was 9 months ago, you were able to buy it just a couple weeks before launch. Okay. It's just crazy. Like, they were just giving away, and then loot boxes or something like that. They were just giving away money just like crazy. And it says here that they have learned from that. You know, it says here, we give out some big bonuses and have learned big lessons in the process. Yeah, because, you know, you're just giving away a lot of free money. No business is going to be able to sustain itself that way. You can give away free stuff for a certain period of time, but then everything has a cost. Okay, nothing is for free. Somebody had to pay for it. For you, maybe for free, but it's coming out of the pocket of somebody else. But anyways, this is what they're saying that they have raised. Okay, and then somebody right here, I guess somebody from the team from Big Guys, this is what they mentioned. Okay, they kind of mentioned here as well that, you know, they have learned a lesson from giving a lot of big bonuses, and this is a little bit of an area that I'm kind of trying to understand. All right, which is, it says currently that is a market cap of $25 million. Okay, so it's a little bit different than what it says here, that they have raised $27 million excluding bonuses. But on this recent Telegram, it says here that they have currently raised a market cap of $25 million. So it's like $2 million more or less than they have mentioned on their Medium, which is right here. But then this is what they say. It says Big Eye launches with a market cap of 120 million. Okay, the market cap of 120 million, which that's the number you get if you multiply 200 billion, which is the total supply of Big Eyes, multiply that with the launch price of 0.0006, it's going to equal this amount. So that's right. But right below that, it says something confusing. It says, let that sink in. Like, okay, process that. And then it says a drop of almost 80%. If you have 120 million, and then you take away 80%, it falls 80%. This is more or less the number you get, the 25 million. It's more like 24 million and something, but just to keep it simple, you know, it's 25 million, all right? So again, 25 million, if you subtract, all right, 80% of that, you're gonna get roughly 25 million. And that's what they're saying. Currently, that is our market cap of 25 million, but it says Big Eyes launches with a market cap of 120 million. So I'm not sure if this is like a grammar thing here, but it doesn't really make much sense. It's like, okay, which one is it? The current market cap or the launch market cap? Like, which of these two is it that you're talking about? Because to have this price, you need to understand one thing, and that's what I want to get to here, okay? Just to finish this video, hopefully I'm not taking too long, so you guys can understand how this works, is this, okay? The set token launch price. How does this work? So the owner, if they hold 100% of all the tokens, which is exactly what it is right now, we can see that one person is holding all the tokens, all right? So they can determine the exact price for this when it launches on the exchanges, okay? They pretty much hold 100% of the power. So far here, at least on Etherscan, they're not showing that they have given any of these tokens to any other wallets. Okay, they haven't given it to any other wallets or anything like that. They're holding everything 100%. So let me just go back here. All right, so since the owner, okay, this wallet, they're holding all of it 100%. If they, depending how much they deposit here, the initial LP, all right, the liquidity provider, right, for this pool, whatever they deposit here is going to determine all of these 3 points of the triangle. Okay, so it's a triangle, and in the middle is the LP, is the initial, or they're going to be the liquidity provider. So the person who deposits here is going to set up already it's going to determine what is the supply, what is the market cap, all right, MC market cap, and the price. So the owner has to think, okay, what is priority? Market cap, where, like they have to think where they want to start. Usually they want to start either with the price or market cap. If they want to start with the price, then they're going to have to think, okay, if I want to launch, all right, if I want to launch at 0.0006, then I need to, if that's going to be my starting point, then I need to figure out how much I need of a market cap and a supply so that it can equal this amount. Which is, again, I brought this chart, okay? If his goal, the owner, is to have this market cap, all right, then he needs to think, okay, how many circulating supply? Like, what is going to be the supply that I need and the market cap so that it can equal the price, all right? And again, this is all a triangle right here, okay, guys? This all works, you know, it all needs to math out. So the math needs to math. If it's not mathing, then there's something wrong, okay? It's like with accounting and stuff. Everything needs to, they're all connected. It all needs to make sense. So again, going back over here, they need to determine what is going to be the price. So obviously, if it's going to be this price, then, you know, 96 million market cap, that's a lot. If they plan to launch like 80% of the 160 billion, which is, it says right here, circulate the Qt. 80% of 200 billion tokens available at launch, including 5% charity wallets. Okay, so pretty much 80% of this is going to be available at launch. So if it's going to be circulating 80%, that means that they need to have enough liquidity to back this up, right? So they have a couple of choices, and this is why I've made this right here. So let's say that if they don't have that market cap, then they cannot launch at this price. That means they're going to have to reduce supply, and that's why I reduce it 50%. So instead of launching 160 billion tokens, which is 80%, like it says right here, they're going to have to do it at a lesser amount, which could possibly be like 50%. That means 100 billion tokens, because that's half of the total supply of tokens. And you can still keep the same price, but the market cap has been reduced to 60 million. It's no longer 96 million. It is now 60 million. And let's say that it's 20%. Let's say that they only want to launch 20% of the tokens into into the LP. So this right here, only they want to add just 20%. Okay. So they add 20%. That means that 40% of the tokens are going to be circulating, and they can keep the 0.0006 price, and the market cap have shrunken to 24 million, which is pretty much the same amount that they are claiming right here. So it's affordable. They can do that. They can put 24 million and still keep this price right here, but only have 40 billion circulating supply. All right. And if they want to go even less, they can just add 10%. But this is what another point that you guys need to understand is that the less liquidity you add, with circulating supply, then the more risk, more volatile the price is going to be. It's going to fluctuate a lot because you're shrinking the pool. All right. So it's just like a regular pool. So if you have one of those kids pool that is very small, if you add like let's say 10 gallons, or you remove 10 gallons, it's going to show on a small pool, like for little kids. But if you had a big pool, all right, like those the ones from the backyard, if you remove like 10 gallons, it's not going to be noticeable. Okay, it's not going to make that much of an impact. So the less of liquidity there is, the more of an impact of price fluctuation there's going to be. So there you go, guys. That's pretty much it. If you go here to the website, again, it says 80% of 200 billion is going to be available at launch. And they also say that again, okay? One thing as well. It says here liquidity lock, but again, at least on Etherscan, it doesn't show any liquidity lock. They can lock it right when they're like giving the LP to the exchanges. They can go ahead and lock it there at that moment. So there is still a little bit of time, all right? But as of right now, they haven't done so. Also here on their website, when we scroll here to the right, let me see here. It says they reinforce here that 80%, again, 80% of the coins available to the community on day one. So if they want to make the tokens available to the community and have that price, then that means they're going to have enough liquidity to make that happen. All right. So, I mean, you could claim the tokens. That's no problem. You can claim the tokens. The problem is the value of the token. If you want your tokens to have that value, the launch price value, then you need to have enough LP, right? LP when the time comes, when a token is launched. And remember, the one who determines the initial LP is the owner, all right? If they're holding all the tokens, all right, 100%. If nobody else is holding the tokens and he's holding all of it, which I already covered, he is holding 100% of them, then he's going to be able to determine what is the initial LP, which is also going to determine what is the initial circulating supply, market cap, and of course the price. All right, so there you guys go, guys. Share your thoughts. What do you guys think about all of this? And as always, I truly appreciate all of your support. Like this video if you find this video to be helpful and informative. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and also hit the bell so you never miss another video, another update, and share this video to anybody else that you know that perhaps is holding big, guys, and maybe this can help them as well. All right, thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.